I don't know. I like the idea of the galaxy armor a lot more than some things. I just feel like it's unnecessarily broken. And it's not
I
like I
just
haven't seen this power set before. It's just they treat it like it's basically God mode.
I just don't. I'm just not a huge fan of it aesthetically.
That I don't think any of his armors are particularly great looking.
Yeah, me neither.
They're
They're kind
just
of bulky and not as streamlined as I want.
yeah, they're just tolerable.
Yeah,
Sure, sure.
and that's how we're opening this one. Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where today we were talking about episode 24 of Ultraman Arc. I am Nick. With me are Alex and Josh.
Hello.
This
Hello there.
episode, this episode is
It's not bad.
it's honestly it's better than some of the episodes we've had recently. I don't
Yeah, I
think this is
actually
a
like the
bad.
episode.
I don't think this is a bad episode. I do think it highlights that it highlights a problem I had, which is they definitely introduced Swede in those episodes we had like mid-season, so they wouldn't have just a pull out their ass villain at the very end.
But you know what it does do better? Has better people than Gamera.
Yeah, I mean, you're not setting the bar high. You're setting the bar super fucking low.
Yeah,
Game
but it's
Hunter,
a
man.
bar they surpassed.
Yeah.
I do like
Especially
our
with this
cast, but
emotional beat here. I did like that.
There's a lot of good stuff in this episode.
yeah, like I do really like our cast. I
Oh,
just wish we had spent more time with the story behind the villain and the villain themselves. Like Swede is an interesting character,
is
but
she?
I don't really care a lot.
Swede is not a bad character. I think they really bank on the fact that she's very good at acting. I think they
Yeah,
bank on
sure.
the
Like
actress.
like the problem is, didn't she have two eyes
Now
earlier?
she,
Did,
now she
did
has
she
one
lose
eye.
an eye and I forgot
Yes.
about it?
I don't remember honestly.
Zetsu took her eye.
That's the problem. Like, I'm like, I feel like she had two eyes.
She
Now she
100%
doesn't.
did. She 100% did, and now she's got like the lines. There's like a line or two I think coming from underneath.
Yeah, like red, like so it's
Yeah.
supposed to look cool. Like I'm like that wasn't there before. I don't remember. Did it happen off screen? What happened?
Just wait. That's gonna be like something we're gonna find out in the
Like
movie.
every time Juggler changed his outfit, I knew about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we were
like
paying attention to him.
oh yeah, like
Even in those like 3-4 episodes where he doesn't show up for a while, it's like, okay, where's Juggler?
yep,
You just
Let's
see him in the background doing random shit.
yep.
Yeah, I really wish they
Having
would
tea.
have Easter egged it. Well, like Juggler is in every episode. He's just not on screen per se the way you'd expect. Like
Yeah.
he's literally just in the background doing
It's like
some shit, and you have to like, where's
yeah,
Waldo him?
it's like the
Just
have
doing
you got
some evil
have,
shit.
have
Yeah.
you watched Community?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so
The
there's
which one?
Community. There's this shit. There's a character Abed who if you look in the
Love
background in scenes where he's not like taking part, he's in the background having his own side adventures. Like
Amazing. Yes.
there's an entire subplot of his that they only have happening in like the background of scenes where he has like a pregnancy scare with a classmate.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like that would have been great.
Oh.
Anyway though, so this episode is directed by Takanori Sugimoto. I'm bringing that up because I like to compare Arc to Ultraman X a lot, and he worked on Ultraman X, and I think that's why they introduced Swede earlier in the season, is because he knew that X had a problem where there wasn't really a villain, and he tried to push that there would be a villain. It's also written by Jun Sugita, who is a fairly
Sugon these nuts.
he's a fairly new writer to the franchise, but he wrote a bunch of episodes
Heard
that
of.
Josh and I liked in Ultraman Blazar, where he wrote The Wandering Zongil, which is why Zongil was
Oh,
in this, The Towering Terror,
also very good.
and Light and Flame, and Terror from the Underground. And
Straight
then
from underground.
he also wrote, he's the head writer for Arc. He wrote the first 3 episodes. Episode 6 was the alien, and he wrote episodes 14 and 15. And he is apparently the writer for the Arc movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, he could have done a couple things different in the Arc movie, but it was still a good movie.
mhm.
We'll find that out this weekend. No.
Sure. Why not? We'll find out. We'll find out about a movie that has not been released in the U.S. yet.
What, the Blazar?
Oh, so I said the Arc movie.
Oh, I thought you said Blazar.
No, he wrote the Arc movie, a movie that has not been
Oh, never
released yet.
mind. Don't
I'm
listen
not
to me.
watching.
I'm stupid.
Yep.
I'm not watching one of those pirated handheld cam videos.
Yes, you are.
Nah, I can
No, I
convince
will
myself
not.
with that one.
Yes, you fucking will.
Yeah.
If I tell you to, you fucking will.
So, so I'm fast forwarding through a commercial for the Arc movie. So yeah, this episode sets up the idea Yuma is in some sort of dreamlike state where he talks to Arc, and it's revealed, oh, the entire series, not just the entire series, but the point from Yuma being 7 years old and the Monogillo's horn flying off and hitting the ground onward is all been a
Basically, the
dream.
last 16 years.
Yep, and he's been trapped under the rubble, dying.
Hooray!
I was so pissed as this was being explained. I'm like, there has to be a rule somewhere that says you just like we just don't do the and it was all a dream bit anymore. Like, nope, that's off the limits.
I mean,
You know.
come on, you had to know this wasn't going to be the actual thing, considering there was another episode after this.
Always sitting here being like, you motherfucker, don't you do,
Yep.
And they did it.
So yeah, this episode sets up. Oh, so there's all a dream. We get like this uh Arc talking to Yuma about how like, oh, so none of this is real. Think about how weird it is that you became your hometown hero, and all these like a shit ton of kaiju are all just constantly showing up in Hojimoto, which is not a very big city. Isn't that
You think
bizarre?
that's weird?
Isn't this
What are you,
strange?
what are you fucking stupid?
Basically. So we get like this like walkthrough where Arc is walking through like the various kaiju that he's not all of them, but like a good selection of the kaiju he's fought. So we see like
Yeah, I kind of
Shagong,
like
we
that though.
see Trigelos, the new version of the Geloses. We see like a few of the other select interesting kaiju we've had over the season. Just being like, so yeah, you think all this is real? Because this is fucking crazy. He was like, oh, am I gonna die here or something?
Why, yes, you are.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you might be, but the rescue team's almost here. So if you give up all your powers, they'll be able to save you.
I
You just
didn't know
have,
it worked like this.
yeah, yeah. It turns out having dreams is what's keeping you from being alive. So just give up on your dreams and you'll be free. And like by that point, it's like I've assumed like from the beginning of the episode, but by that point, it's like, oh, so this is like some sort of plot. Like, this is clearly some big
You're
bad
not
is trying.
Ark.
Yeah, some big bad is trying to convince Yuma to give up Ark's powers,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he can, so they can defeat him. your standard like, oh, renounce your powers and then evil will win the day. But then we get the fucking watch again. The yellow watch.
This hideous
It's-
Chekhov's gun of a watch.
I mean, hey, it was established early enough, like they paid it off in a big way.
Sure, but good God, is that an obnoxious yellow?
Oh yeah,
That
100%.
is raincoat yellow.
Yep. Uh,
I don't know whether I love it or hate it. I'm leaning towards hate.
if he holds his arm too close to a rain runoff drain, Pennywise is going to show up and try to convince him to come down there.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
hiya, Georgie.
Yep. Yeah. So then we
Yeah.
cut. So then we cut to the rest of
Got
the
any of
team.
those Yuppies?
I will say Yuppie actually serves a purpose this episode,
Yeah.
and his purpose is
He
to
doesn't
be a
talk that
brain
much.
slave.
He does take that that shield hit pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, like this is probably
No,
the
that was
best.
somebody else.
This is the best usage of Yuppie they've had. When they let somebody else control his body. Yeah. So our team is
Raven.
trying their best to find
Fuck you.
Yuma because he's their bro. And there's a giant fucking wormhole that looks like an eye in the middle of the sky.
Nothing ominous about that at all.
Oh yeah, no, not terrifying in the slight. I wonder if
I'm
that's
not
her
worried.
eye. I wonder if that's going to be revealed to be Swede's eye in the sky because it's eye shaped, and she's missing an eye now.
Huh.
Ooh.
I wonder if that's going to be the case. I would kind of dig it if that was like the reveal, is the wormhole is her eye, because she has dimensional powers.
That
Yeah,
would
she has dementia.
Yeah. Like I'm saying this now, it's her eye. If I'm right next week, called it.
you heard it here first, folks.
Yep. But yeah,
No.
then we get a phone ringing, and UP is shorted out and controlled by the not Arc.
But he's felt this feeling before.
Oh God, I'm gonna be controlled for the next chunk of the episode.
Don't mind me.
Yep. So then
I'm gonna
Yuma
become a much more interesting character.
Yep. I love like
No.
Yuma hears Shu and he's like, "Oh shit, it's Shu," and he just jams his hand up out of the rubble.
That was delightfully cartoonish. Just
Oh,
ah!
oh yeah. It also means the rubble landed on him perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Not to a point where the rubble was crushing his internal organs.
Yep. And Shu's like, "Yeah, he's here in the rubble." And he calls people instead of trying to help him at all. He's like, "No, he's over here. We got to get help. I'm not gonna pick any of this up off of him. As I'm calling, you guys need to come and help him."
Well, what if
Only
he lived
used
up
coffee
something?
beans.
And I want there to always be the coffee bit.
Yep.
But they're not leaning into it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll get a big payoff on that one at the end of the last episode too. Like when they're all like having their
Got it, right?
like the ending of the episode will be them like drinking coffee together or something as like a quiet moment of like we've done
It's
it
the
now we need to
Avengers
rest.
shawarma scene.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like that. And they'll try to get Yuppie to drink coffee and he'll pour it on himself in short circuit.
Don't give Josh that hope.
God, that'd be great if he just
Yep.
dies by coffee.
Yep. So then we get the reveal that this evil Arc that is trying to convince Yuma to give up his powers is actually Swede, and Swede has invaded his dreams to try to get him to renounce his powers. And she's got that sick eye patch because she tore her eye out and put it in the sky.
Look into the sky.
Do other Ultramen work this way with their hosts? Like, I renounce my powers.
I think it's less that and more like so like the big over the course of the episode we find out that like the Onyx is still in him, that it's the
Oh, I'm
Galaxy
sorry. I thought that
armor.
was a little star.
Yeah, dude. Get
Don't
ready for our
besmirch
Ultraman
the
G'd
little star
episodes.
like that.
Our Get ready for our G'd episodes. They'll come out pretty soon here. They are real good. That show is much better than I'm gonna say it, much better than this one. It has
Yeah.
a central villain. It has interesting characters, which I love these characters, but
Not juggler.
I mean, yeah, just wait though. Like
Yeah,
you're
but
gonna
he's an aristocrat.
yeah, just wait. You'll get more Liha, who's just about the best girl you can get for a while.
Yeah, until we
Okay.
get to Emmy.
Yeah. Anyway, and she has a sword too.
I miss Uncle
That's fair. It's
and
okay.
Naomi, frankly.
On Wednesday we'll talk
Anyways,
about yeah. All right. Anyway, we'll get on to that later. So yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah,
my
so
feelings.
yeah, we get the reveal later in this episode that the reveal, like it's been obvious since he got the armor, that the Galaxy armor is the Onyx, and that if he renounces that, they'll get the armor, well, they'll get the Onyx back, and that's what they want. They just want that. So if he renounces it, they'll get a hold of that cube, which is the Onyx.
It's been here the whole time.
Yeah, it's been inside of you, poisoning you. This is
It stole Blazar's thing
kind of. I mean,
with the bone cancer.
if it makes you feel better, Josh, Blazar just stole that from Nexus.
No.
But yeah, so
Are you advocating for bone cancer right now, John?
Only an Ultraman's host.
yeah.
Still
So
feel
then we
like you're
get
on the wrong side of history there, bud.
yep. So then we get our kaiju for the episode.
Prove it.
Guile Baku.
You mean Armadillomon?
Dude, I fucking love this thing's design. I'm gonna be real
What
open
is
with
wrong
it.
with you?
Dude, I'm also a fan.
I
This
love
thing,
the way this thing
no.
looks. I love his eyes the most. His eyes and the fact that he has the weird little crystal that he's constantly like playing with on his chest. He's like, oh, look at this. I got this weird fucking thing.
Yeah, look at
Look at this. It looks like
my
a gold.
chesticle.
Looks like a glowy brain in my chest. Yeah, I have fucking weird star eyes. And I look
And
like
I
a tapered.
digivolve.
I look like a nightmare taper. Yep. That's what he's supposed to look like. He's supposed to look like a nightmare taper.
That's all right. That I buy. That I
Yep.
buy.
Nightmare.
And then Swede fucking just tries to one-shot Yuma while he's still in human form.
She's not playing fair. There are rules.
Well, yeah, that's why Yuppie
No
gets to come in.
rules.
Yuppie gets a bonus action and he uses his shield.
Has he always had that shield?
I think we've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has to have. I feel like they wouldn't have introduced that now. Like
I don't know. They tried to introduce a villain here.
no,
We've seen Swede before.
they used her like twice before, so it wouldn't be a problem.
No, Zesu.
No, well, first of all, Zesu's been talked about since Swede.
Yeah, but
He reminds me of like
why they try to make him look like Ultra King?
he reminds me of like
Yes.
Andros from like Star Fox.
Valid.
Like just a floating face.
You're not wrong. But yeah, and then Yuppie turns into his car mode and Yuma drives off. Which I'm gonna be honest, I had almost forgotten that Yuppie can become a car. Like
It's
We
like a
this
scooter,
close.
right?
Yeah, like he turns into a fucking razor scooter, basically.
Gotta go fast.
Again, I had almost forgotten about that. So they drive off, and then Yuma has a conversation with not Yuppie because it's revealed it's that one guy who brain jacked him, and Yuma has a fucking The glowing in his chest is now letting off darkness to let us know that something's wrong. Which is where we get the reveal that they've been sending poison through it to try to kill him.
The bastards.
Yep. Yep.
They're
True.
sending poison to the Onyx, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to eat away at him. Like they're
It felt
basically.
like it was like one too many steps, but okay.
I mean, I actually kind of appreciate that where they're like, well, we can't beat him, but this thing that he has that connects him to us, we can just send like antimatter through that and just kill him. If we just
What
send
if we just kill him?
Yeah, let's just use this thing that's in his soul now and kill him that way.
Playing the long game here, guys.
Yeah. So we'll kill him and then we'll go get that thing back and then we'll win. And that's somehow going to profit us.
It's definitely profit.
Yep. Yep, it's definitely the underpants now. 100%. But yeah. So now we get the reveal that the whole dream thing was because Guile Baku was controlling his dreams with his weird brain crystal.
Damn you, Garabaku.
Yeah. Damn you, you beautiful monster, you. You look so wonderfully Showa in every possible way.
It's so dumb looking.
It's
That's
not
what I
dumb. He's an
love.
Armadillo Mon.
Yeah,
Who is one of the best Digimon.
I do love his
He
design.
looks like something that's like a reject from both Pal World and Digimon.
Don't disrespect him like that.
Mm. And then we get the catchphrase, unleash your imagination.
Unleash your imagination.
Yep, now all you need to hear is run,
I
Yuma.
expected Dragon Ball music at that point.
Yep.
Bum, bum, bum,
No,
bum,
instead
bum,
we get
bum, bum.
UP coming back to his senses.
Gross.
The
Unleash
worst
your
possible
imagination.
It's what ruined the episode for me.
Mhm.
This is what ruined the episode for you.
Yeah, Snoopy coming back.
Yep.
Well, I wants his stupid ass.
But yeah, then we get to see Zaysu for the first time, because why not? Why not show the bad guy at the very end? And he does.
Yeah.
He kind of.
And because he's only been mentioned as like the Thanos that we've never seen before.
Yep.
I don't care.
So I
you're
want you
gonna
guys to
care.
look up this character for me, because I think he looks a lot like this character specifically. Look up Ace Killer, all one word, because I feel like his head shape is really reminiscent of that. Like
Ace Killer?
Ace
One word?
Killer. Look that up. It's all one word, and you tell me his head shape isn't super similar.
Similar, but this guy pulled it off better.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, he looks really similar to a design from the 70s.
See, they pulled off the
Oh my
long
god,
beard
is he
here.
the one that crucified all the Ultraman?
Yes. Which is why, in turn, in turn,
And the first one was just two crucified Ultraman, and then it's just like
I'm looking at that exact photo right
Yep.
now. That was not the first one that came up for me.
yeah, that's also why we got Arc getting crucified last episode.
Turns out he's been the villain the whole time.
You know what? I would actively enjoy that more. I would love if that was the reveal. I would think that is the best possible choice if it's, oh yeah, and it's actually just Ace Killer showing up again. Cool. Good to know he just became a galactic despot. Thank you. Yeah, so then we cut to Shu walking in and watching Yuma sleep. And
Soft kitty, warm kitty,
Oh, don't do this.
you're
Yeah.
gonna die.
Also, like, okay, so let's be real. Shu has to realize that Yuma's Ultraman, right? Like, he has to.
Yeah, I thought we had already established that, right?
Yeah, like he has to though.
But the other
He's
team members don't yet.
no,
Yeah,
but
they
Shu
don't.
does. And like especially this he never says it in this monologue, but like just the way he's acting, it's very clear. He's like he knows that that Yuma ran in to protect them because he's Ultraman,
I mean, he
and
at one point he says we got to protect him like he's protected us.
yeah, like
Exactly.
it's he never outright says it, but this episode's more or less like confirmation that at least Shu knows it, which is more than we can say for some series. It also confirms that Shu is easily the smartest member of this team.
We probably could have guessed that before.
Also, I almost guarantee in Japan the scene where Shu grabbed Yuma's hand caused a shit ton of shippers to start losing their minds.
I
Because
lost it. It was me.
Yep.
I lost my mind.
Yep.
I was sitting there like, Kith.
Yeah,
Kith
you can't
already.
have positive male friendships without it becoming sexual.
Yeah, chill out. What?
It was Kithing. They were on Kith.
And
God,
then
people, like
Yuma,
you can be thirsty, but just like, come on.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm all out of Sprite. And so I'm gonna thirst. I'm gonna thirst a different way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't feel the same hole in your heart.
So then Yuma falls back
water ain't
asleep,
doing
and
shit.
Shu sees the shining coming from his chest. So now he knows something's wrong. And then
Yeah, now he knows.
Yep.
They are truly meant for each other.
So then we cut to tanks firing on Guile Baku, and they ain't doing shit. And that's our reveal.
And then he starts using his shield as a like an area of effect weapon,
which is honestly kind of dope. I like that.
I thought that was a really
Yeah.
cool touch.
Yeah, like again, they're bringing. I feel like they're gonna try to really bring their A game. They were for this episode, but I feel like next episode especially, we're gonna see like the closest we've gotten to the first 3 episodes in terms of cinematography. Like we're gonna see their A game in this last episode to try to leave people on a high note for this one.
And the actors are really putting in work too.
Mm-hmm. Shu also acknowledges that Swede is the alien that he couldn't put down before, so he feels semi-responsible for her return, which is a nice little touch. I'd honestly forgotten that. But, I mean, that was like over 2 months. That was almost 3 months ago. Might have been 3 months ago.
Dear God.
Yeah.
What even are weekly releases?
Yep. Tune in each week for us to talk about another show. But yeah. So again, we got the whole like he protected us, we'll protect him, and Yuma's just standing there like quietly contemplating what he should do as he listens to his friends like talk about how they're going to try to protect him.
There's only one thing he can do: put them down.
Yep, he's gonna walk in and smash them after he becomes Arc. To save them, he will kill them.
I was gonna say after he's done smashing, then he'll kill them.
Mm-hmm. We thought the same thing.
Yeah. Get at it, shippers.
Yep. But yeah, so then we get Shu opens the door. He's like, okay, we're not gonna tell Yuma what's going on. We're just gonna like go check on him. He opens the door. Yuma's already outside. Like, all right, shit, we gotta go stop him. And they try to convince him, like, hey, you're gonna die if you go over there. And Yuppie asks him if he's gonna fight Guile Baku, which means canonically, Yuppie is the second one to figure out that he is Arc.
I don't like that.
I mean, at least he's not first. It's Shu and then a machine that should be hyper intelligent but is not,
Using its analysis skills.
which it should have figured out considering the whole moon thing. And then Shu fucking screams at Yuma, and God,
No,
he is
no.
putting his A game into that.
Yeah, he did.
That's
And then,
going on as real.
yep. And then Yuma turns into Arc, and you can see like Shu's like, oh crap, and Rin and Bon both look surprised, so they still had not figured it out.
Nani?
Then he he fully turns into Arc and flies off to fight the baddie.
And immediately his color timer turns on.
Yep,
Well, I
because
mean, yeah,
he's
he's.
been poisoned.
Oh, I was gonna say yeah because he got his fucking chest crust.
Yep. Yeah. So of course we get the immediate transformation to the Galaxy armor because um this is the
No time to
final.
waste.
Yep, this is the final battle. We got to make sure we do this. Which I'm gonna say this: if you know that that Galaxy armor is what's causing you to die, why use it right away?
Well, maybe
Why
if I
go into
use
that?
it, the poison will leak out.
Yep. No. Instead, they control his weird boomerang thingies and just start beating the shit out of him with them. And then Guile Baku shoots energy discs at him,
Just
and he
getting a beat down.
yep, and he
Copy.
immediately loses control of the Galaxy armor and gets his ass kicked.
Ha,
His own armor betrays him,
Yep.
and then he gets his ass beat.
Yep.
as it should be.
Yeah. And so that's how our episode ends with him getting his ass kicked. Again, I think this was a good emotional beat episode. I'm curious to see how they're gonna end this. I imagine they'll stick the landing on this. The problem is the lasting impact this will have because I don't think that. I think the problem with this show isn't like them doing the emotional beats right. It's that Swede feels really shoehorned in as a villain. Like they did
Yeah.
an okay job of introducing her earlier in the season, but if they wanted her to be a villain, they probably should have thrown her in a few more episodes before this.
Well, they might have been trying to play it a little safe with, because like what this is supposed to be the first one that they're really leaning in hard to the English audience,
No,
or the I guess international audience more
I'd say
so.
Blazar. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd say there's a few different ones. I This one has probably the most dubs that I've seen. Like I've seen a few different dubs of this series, like doing like various degrees of viewership, but like I don't know. There's been a few of them that they pushed with. Debatably, this is the one that they're having like the biggest push just in terms of that. I don't know. It's tough to say.
I mean, because one of the comments here on the English version says Ultraman Arc is perhaps the best Ultra series so far. It has the perfect amount of serialized story and episodic.
And I get where they're coming from on that. I'm not gonna say they're wrong, but um,
I'll say it.
I think there's a yeah. I think there's a different. I think I just have a slightly different desire for what I want to see, and
I do too. Yeah.
I think that just comes down to like we've seen a few different stories played out at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I like my Ultraman not to be a little bitch.
I mean, like I'll say this, I do think the fights are pretty good in Arc. I think like the storytelling as a whole is good. I just think that we've seen again, a villain can make or break the show, and
Yeah.
Swede's actress is really, really good. Like she's a great actress. If they had brought her in, like when they brought her in,
Boom.
if they had kept her around and had her do like 3 or 4 more episodes spaced out so we knew she was important, Because I honestly thought she was just like there to set up the actual villain, which I mean she kind of is, but I didn't think she was going to play as
I'm
big of
not
a
really
role as
though.
she was.
Same here. I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like an ass pull to have her come back at this point.
I just don't think that when I look back on the Ultra series that I really like,
Mhm.
that this one's going to be really high up there, even though it was really good.
Oh yeah. Again, it just suffers from it has so many good moments, but the story itself, again, they just could have used a villain that like stuck around. Like again, you need someone interesting to play the characters against, and it doesn't need to be like they need to be in every episode or have like a ton of focus all the time, but just someone where
No.
like they're around and you know they exist. And like if they had wanted to
Sure.
do that with Swede, they should have had her in like 3 or 4 more episodes from her introduction till now, because she was in like what episode like 13 and 14, I want somewhere around like episode 13, and then she just didn't come back until now. And I again, it just feels like an ass pull. Like it's not really earned to have her come back and be this big threat.
Definitely not. But let's double check
I
that.
Yeah.
agree.
But whatever. Again, I still think they'll probably do a good job on the finale for this. I imagine in like a few years, I'm going to consider this to be a pretty forgettable series. Where like
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Is forgettable.
yeah, like I'll remember those first few episodes and how cool they were, and then I'll kind of forget everything else up until like these episodes. Like the middle is going to be completely lost to me.
Yeah, I will probably remember Shoot.
Yep, she was going to be like the other big thing I remember, just because he was an interesting character. Which it's funny, like that's also something that I wanted to bring up is like all the actors in this are really good, but I felt
Yeah,
like we didn't get a good hook for any of the other characters like we did with him. Like,
Rin is a programmer.
yeah, but like we don't do much with that. Like, it's
No,
not
we
it's
don't.
not like with Shin in Orb where like he was constantly making weird shit and that was his gimmick. Rin just is a programmer and like she made Yuppie, but they never play on that.
So
Yeah, that didn't matter.
she
Yeah.
showed up in 14 and 15.
Okay, so around where I thought it was. So
Yeah.
Only
she's been
twice?
yeah, she was only in 2 episodes before this.
Wow.
Yeah, she's only
I
in
was
two
like, there's
episodes
no way.
before.
We had to have seen her like maybe 4 to 6 times
No, no. Again, that's why I
in
felt like
24 episodes.
yeah, she will have been
Wow.
in 4
And we
out of the
see
24.
Shu's boss only one time.
There's a few characters we've only seen once, but yeah, like the fact that she is our final
Not the
villain.
main villain. What?
Yeah, no, the fact that she's the final villain for this show and we will see her a grand total of 4 episodes is really rough.
Wow.
Like for context, again, like almost every episode, I should at least 70%, 75% of Orb had Juggler in an episode, even if he wasn't the main threat. Um, even like Blazar, which didn't have like we never saw the V99. They were talked about constantly. They were always like
Yeah.
a looming threat. Swede was not. Like that wasn't earned for her to come back and be the final villain. Like if they had wanted to do that, they should have talked about her more and had her have a lasting impact, and they really didn't.
For real.
Like again, just missed opportunity where she again she has a great actress, but I feel like they're leaning on her being a great actress and not having contributed much to the story. Like they're hoping that her being a good actress overcomes the fact that they only put her in 4 episodes out of 25.
Even though they've had really good writers
Oh yeah.
on Arc.
Oh yeah. Like there's a lot of really great episodes with like huge character beats, but they again I think it was just a problem if they didn't know what they wanted until it was too late. Like they didn't know what they wanted for a villain, and then they kind of like realized they needed to have a villain, so they just brought Swede back. Because she really does feel like she was supposed to be a mid-season threat to set up the real threat. Like the space mafia from Orb, where they were just there to kind of give Juggler a way of building up his own threat. But instead, she turned out to be the actual main threat, and that doesn't. Again, it just didn't seem earned, I guess.
It didn't seem earned, and one of the things is like she has no relationship with any of the cast members.
Yep.
Like not even Ruchion.
Yep.
Juggler was almost a side character for the main
Yeah.
cast. If he wasn't the villain, he could have easily been just one of the cast members, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
He
no.
had a personality and an interaction with the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Literally in a different series, he is like one of the main characters without being the villain. Like in the Origin Saga, he's just the secondary protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Like,
still not an Ultraman.
yep,
Even in the anime, he still couldn't be an Ultraman.
yep. Maybe someday. But yeah,
Upsetting.
any final thoughts we have before we call this one?
I really hope this finale is not going to be a letdown.
Again, I don't think it's going to be a letdown.
You could stick this landing.
I just think we're not going to have. Again, it's the episode itself is going to be good. I almost guarantee it. The problem is the show as a whole.
But
is kind of
will
a
you
letdown.
care?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I'll still probably care. Like this was still a fun show to watch. It's just,
I know.
again,
I feel bad speaking ill of it because
Mhm.
I have enjoyed it. I think it's been good. I just wanted a different kind of storytelling out of.
I don't think we're going to come back to it like we're going to like we do Blazar and Orb.
Yeah, like
And honestly, already possibly Geed.
yep. I mean, I'll say this: like out of the ones that you just mentioned, um, I have watched all of those multiple times of my own volition. Like I enjoyed all those shows for various reasons. This one reminds me a lot of Ultraman X, where I've watched all of Ultraman X in like one go through, and I've never rewatched it from start to finish. I just pick and choose episodes that I like to watch. Whereas like Orb, I've
Yeah.
watched through a few times. Blazar, I've watched through a few times. Jeed, I've watched through a few times. This one is just going to be a pick or choose after this, where I sit down and like, okay, I'm going to watch the episode where
Yeah, I would like pick out like, oh, I like this kaiju as opposed
yeah.
to where
Like-
in the story were they.
Yeah, like I could see like rewatching the Konagon episode, the Hoshipei one, because that was a fun episode.
God, that one was so triggering.
Yep, I brought it up on purpose just to do that to you.
You bastard.
Yep. But there's like a few episodes here and there I would go back to watch. I just don't think I would ever sit down and watch this again from start to finish. Like maybe if I'm like really nostalgic for it in like 5 years or something, but
Or if the movie is just so top tier that it makes it all kind of make more sense, and you go, oh, I kind of want to go back and see if they were laying down these hints.
I mean,
I kind of don't expect that to happen, though.
we've actually gotten some hints in the clip show episode.
Yeah.
That we got hints at a couple of things from that movie. Not much, but a couple. But again,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a Black Arc.
yeah, that's literally what they talk about. Black Arc, which could have just been his name, but instead we have Guile Arc.
Okay.
Or Dark would have been a great one. Ultraman Dark.
That one's great.
Mhm.
Objectively amazing.
Yep.
But might be too silly.
No, I would have for this show, for this one, I mean, like if it was like Blazar, I could have seen it. For this one, this one lives in silly for some episodes. Like the Conagon episode alone was silly as fuck.
We
In fact,
never did get our the whatever episode it was, the was it the Hoshipe one where Yuppie goes kaiju?
yeah.
God damn, that
Yep.
episode.
Oh, that was like one of the best episodes. Like that's one I could see myself rewatching.
It was good, but damn was it triggering.
Oh yeah. But yeah, any final thoughts we have before we want to call this one?
Nah.
All right, fair enough. Tune in next time where we see if Ultraman Arc sticks the landing with the aptly titled "Time to Run, Yuma." They ended every fucking episode with that, and now it's the fucking last episode of the series. All right.
They were setting it up. This was a long game here,
Oh,
Nick.
100%, dude. There's some stuff I can't wait for you to get to do. We're gonna have to wait a while, but I fucking can't wait for it. Anyway, tune in next time. Bye bye.